So the point of this video is to teach someone, whether they're a brand new agent or just an agent in general, on how to treat your business like a business. And I think it's extremely important to have an LLC or some sort of actual business. I don't know much about all the others. I only know about LLC because that's what was recommended to me. It provides protection. If someone decides to sue you, they can't come and take your house or your assets. So I highly recommend having an LLC for an additional protection. And today,
homestead protects your house.
The homestead does protect your house, absolutely, for sure. But this is just like talk to your accountant. That's what I always tell everybody. Talk to your accountant, figure out what's best for you. And if you have a partner, that may change some certain things. Although with an LLC, you can still add an additional manager, which is kind of like an owner. I'm solo and I have my LLC, and I set this up a couple years ago. And really, it's super easy. You did it today. Did you finish the process?
Yep. I'm done with that. Yeah. And I did
Cool. And it was literally, you just filled out some questions online. If you're in Florida, you go to.
Well, yeah. The biggest thing that we forgot, or that we did, that was to double check. So first of all, the most important thing is to come up with your LLC name.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, was double check that the Facebook handle is available, the Instagram handle is available, that the business LLC is available, that the GoDaddy link is available. So check all those things. I think that was the one thing I felt unprepared for. I was like, oh shoot, like I wish I had done a little bit more homework so I didn't waste so much of your time.
Well, you didn't. I mean, I was running errands, and we were just brainstorming and talking like different type of business ideas. And
a good starting point is like, if you're going to start an LLC, spend like a day just thinking about like what's meaningful.
And I think it's also for your business name is to not be specific to a location, because if you decide to move a different location, then you can still continue with that business. Maybe have a different URL or a different handler or an additional Instagram page or something like that. But it's very important you can literally just even Google or go to GoDaddy, which is what I did, look up who owns the URL. And you'll see to make sure that URL will be, or your business name will be available if you decide to make a URL.
You know what actually is funny is it's actually a perfect segue to your Ikigai YouTube video, because if you do the Ikigai, you really can get to know yourself. Yeah. And then from that, you can kind of then narrow it down to like, what is my brand?
I think that's actually, yeah. Because I spent hours trying to figure out what's the perfect business name. What's this? And honestly, it's kind of like, well, your name is your brand. And if you kind of want to not have your actual name as part of, it's just like for mine is Z Solutions. My friends call me Z for Lindsay. I'm all about solutions. For you picked the business name of
Real Estate by NC.
And NC is your name, Natalie Carmichael. So it works. It's transportable.
But the NC is up for debate because it is my married name. But I did NC and not Natalie Carmichael, because if for some reason my marriage does not work out, then I can just rebrand NC for something else.
Right. But at the end of the day, we didn't get married to have any type of D's, you know what I'm saying? So we are in it for the long run.
I'm just saying though, like we want to be realistic, not just
important
romantics,
Is we're setting up our business for ourselves and for our future, and don't just create a name and then you create an LLC and then you're like, oh, well, crap, it's taken on all the social media platforms, so I can't use that. And then you just
have no shame in your game. You know what I mean? If you want to be Z for Lindsay or you want to be NC for your married name, then just rock it, own it. But as women empowering other women, make sure that you set yourself up for success. And you do think about the realities of the fact that marriage takes two and it's not just up to you, and just be prepared.
Right. Absolutely. It's just a thought to have for sure. So then now once you have your LLC, I think it's important to have an additional type of checking account that all your business expenses go through. I decided to open a business account with Suncoast Credit Union because it's local to me. We were having that conversation earlier this morning about, do you use something that's local to you, which is Navy Federal Credit Union, or do you go with what's comfortable to you and somebody that you actually have a relationship with within the business, which is Bank of America? And again, it's preference. And if you see yourself relocating, will there be, like, you're going to be working in Alabama, right? You're getting your dual license in Alabama and Florida. So like, if you decide to move to Alabama, is there maybe federal credit union there? Are you like, what's going to happen to that? And you want to be able to have easy access to it. So for me, I don't see myself really moving out of Florida, at least for another couple of years. Who knows? So I just went with Suncrest credit.
But that's a great point, though. There's a lot of states that back up next to other states. So if you are in a potential place to get a dual license somewhere, pick, a bank that it's going to be like, that's why being at EXP is so great. I don't have to think twice. Oh, shoot, I want to get dual license. What am I going to do? I don't have to think about it. It's EXP, same thing. Pick a bank, that same kind of comfort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same brokerage, regardless of what state you're in. Exactly. It's just, same CEO, same business, just different broker, which is who you would go to for that state for any questions. So now once you go and you decide to open up your checking account, your business account, I mean, you can do a personal checking account, but I just recommend that if you're going to treat your business like a business, make it a business. And you have to have your articles of organization, your LLC, basically from SunBiz. You could be printed out online and go to the bank and say, here, this is what I'm trying to open up an account. You hand them your driver's license and your business, and then they run your credit. I don't know if there's any credit limitations. That's something to figure out, but I didn't get denied. So, hey.
I don't think you run a credit for a bank account.
For a business account, they had to run my credit. I was very proud, so proud that I texted my father. And he's like, what, you're higher than me? I'm like, oh my gosh. It was nice. But so they ran my credit, and it was an easy process. But the whole point is it's able to track all my income and all my expenses. And then I converted, because I was doing it out of my personal business account. And at the end of the year, it's like, okay, let me try to find all, because I didn't do monthly record keeping. You know how I wait till the end of the year, procrastination a little bit. But I was right, which emails did I send this? I was using different emails, and like, let me go through my checking account. What's business, what's not? And it's just don't, and start treating your business like a business. So business account, put all your cell phone, your car, your gas, any type of traveling expenses, now that you're a dual agent, your travels to wherever, even when you go to Sarasota.
But we even talked about the fact that it's okay to hire an assistant and to look in, to figure out like, hey, let's get my assistant a credit card or a debit card to my account. So, like I have my husband, for example, he drives me like 90% of the time, like for him to have his own card, or like we take, because he's with me taking clients to dinner sometimes, and like, I don't want him to feel like embarrassed that he has to use my card. So like get a card with like your assistant's name on it,
So you track. It's all trackable. So it's a beautiful thing. And they can help you're delegating, so that's another thing. But keep being organized, I think, is key. It's made my life. I mean, I have started doing this, I think, in October of 2020. So I'm not like, super pro, but it has done wonders for me, my mindset. And I know exactly how much money I have, what I'm spending on business on a monthly. And then I don't have everything coming out of my my personal checking, and kind of like, do I have enough money? So LLC or whatever business you want, then open up a business or a checking account, start getting all your stuff tracked over there. And then I recommend getting some sort of payroll. I think you don't have to, but I think it's important to set yourself up as a W-2, mainly for several reasons, which again, you can do this as a 1099, you can pay quarterly taxes, but if you're trying to get a loan or like, buy a house or something like that, a W-2 is a lot easier process for a lender than a 1099, a self-employed.
And you can also pay quarterly taxes with a W-2.
Yes, both. And when I've spoken to many lenders and I asked them, what do you feel is best? Like, should I just continue with 1099 and just pay my quarterly taxes? But at the end of the day, it's like I love the fact that I treat my business like a business. I am a W-2 of my own business. I know exactly what I'm getting paid. That's kind of my play money, plus, paying a couple bills, but like all my business bills are taken care of separately. And I know exactly how many months I have left in my account if I didn't make a transaction. Like if
you have a really great month, That's just
extra money in your account. And this is another thing is, so this system that I use is called gusto.com. I'm going to give you a link because it'll give you some discounts or whatever on the back end. But it will set your payroll. You can pay yourself monthly or bi-monthly. I do bi-monthly. It'll take out the taxes for you. It'll automatically send and pay your quarterly taxes without you even having to touch a button. I can get all my documents right here. And honestly, I'm just going to start sharing my screen so I can kind of show you the process. Oops, let me get out of that. Icky guy. Now I gotta learn how to say it properly. I feel like I should redo that video, but it is what it is.
No. Like I said, that was a good transition to the Icky guy. 4 weeks ago. Remember that one 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, really. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the chat so you have access to this. I'll send it an email to. I guess I can't because I'm sharing my screen.
That's
but anyways, so this is Gusto.
I can just watch you, yeah.
This was recommended to me by Cheryl Howe. They use it for their business. Vince used it for his business. He was a broker in Indiana. He's now lives in Florida. And other people were using it. And I did check out a couple others. It just wasn't as polished. I think it was more expensive. And in this, it depends on how many people you have as a W-2 or vendors or whatever. And again, you can pay yourself a bonus. So this thing, you have a dashboard and then you can run your payroll. And I set it up to where I get paid twice a month. Mm-hmm. And then let's go to documents. So here is my W-2. So for 2020, I could pull the W-2 right here. And it will actually have my W-2 for as an employee and as an employer. And so I would hand this folder over to my accountant, and then he would actually file my taxes before April. Yeah, it's all done for me. So and then now this is the thing is because I started this at the end of 2020, I have to account for all the other months. But going forward, 2021 is going to be my most organized year in business ever. And that's where I want to kind of continue going, but also sharing with other people what's worked for me and how it's super easy.
That's why I was like, you need to help me now because like it's February and like that's going to save me a year of grievance.
It does. And then at the end of the year, everything's kind of already accounted for you. Now I do, so here's another thing is I use QuickBooks. So before you even go to payroll is you need to start tracking all your accounts. So basically once you set up your LLC, you're going to then create or open up a business checking account. And then from your business checking account, you need to record all your expenses, which I then use QuickBooks online, and I add in my business checking account to that. So it records all of my expenses. And then I import that into Gusto so I can pay myself a W-2. And you can add on. So if you want to add employees or you want to add vendors where you have to actually pay them separately outside of your commission, then you can do that all here. And let's say you want to pay yourself a bonus. You can do that all here and it'll treat it as if you're a W-2. So it will take out the taxes from your following payroll to account for that bonus. It's all tracked and calculated for you. All right, well, I'm going to email it to you. So you have to go to floridarevenue.com and you have to get a tax registration number. And then you get that number and you get a tax rate, which is most likely going to be the same as mine. However, you want to do this the right way. So you use your LLC, and I'll send you the link again. And I will also have the links in the description down below. So you kind of have step 1, step 2. But you need to do this because it is a process and sometimes they mail it.
The link below.
And so floridarevenue.com, get a tax registration account started, and they'll give you your account number and a tax rate, which my tax rate is 0.027. And that's how they calculate the taxes of what you're going to be paying based off your tax rate ID or your tax rate number. And that's it. And so this right here says overdue, but if I go to start, it actually has my quarterly taxes already filed.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do anything, but why it says still stuff to do is because I actually need to file my taxes.
You have to actually, I need to sign it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a couple.
That's good though. We need you to sign the paperwork to authorize these transactions. That's great.
Right. And it does it for you. You're literally just, okay. It's all tracked for you. So I think this has been wonderful for me so far. And then if you want to offer your employees benefits, there's also a button where you can do that.
Oh, that's so cool. So you can have an assistant.
And you can have medical, dental, vision, everything.
Oh, that's legit. Like commuter help when your employees spend less. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then so if I wanted to access this as if I was the employer, I would switch to employee profile, and then I would be able to check my own stuff and see like how much I'm getting paid. I can access all my W-2s from an actual employee standpoint.
That's so cool.
And you can pay contractors here. And it just kind of
that's so cool. See, that's what I mean. So I wonder if that's where Mary goes. Just wondering. I don't know.
You would probably go through here, set her up as a vendor, and just pay her that way. But our business, our company, our brokerage does it for us, so we don't have to. So when you're filing your taxes, I have to
give an assistant.
Exactly. Well, 2021, we're gonna get an assistant. Well, I mean, Mary has helped us out tremendously already from a transaction.
No, but we want someone who's going to schedule all of our appointments. Someone who's going to book all of our leads, and we're just going to live our best lives.
Do what we love most, which is helping other houses. And sell houses. So anything else you want me to cover over on?
Oh, I think that was so informative and great. That was wonderful.
Okay, cool. I'm really excited for you because this is right here is just going to make your life a lot easier, organized. Your mom is going to be proud. All right, so I'm going to close out. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'm glad that we're.
It's so fun to be back.
Yeah, yeah, and setting up our business to be treated like a business, I think is super important.
So, I can't wait to come back in another 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, and it's going to be all set up. So I'm going to email you the links, and I will also have it on this official video once that gets posted on YouTube. But if you have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me, or you can reach out to Natalie, and we will see you guys later.